Welcome. This is the Waves of Profit Power Hour on YouTube. I'm Scott Patton. Joining us as usual is Alan Maxwell. We're talking about day trading. We also talk about fear versus greed, and our whole philosophy is you can make 10% on your investment in 10 minutes or less. We're proving it every day. I'm not going to say consistent, although we are putting out videos covering just about every day since the beginning of 2015. But, you know, if you don't trade, that's 10 minutes of your day that you can do something else. And while we love the stock market and we love options and we think this is a great way for you to get a really good return on your investment compared to treasury bonds or GICs or just your savings account in your bank. The fact of the matter is that there are days that you should just not bother. And I'm suspecting today is one of those. So I'm going to let Alan explain what was so special about March 18th, 2015.
Well, it's one of those days that the Fed chairman speaks. It
Ah.
happens about 8 times a year. And you actually know when they happen. It's, you know, there's certain economic things that affect the markets quite strongly. But I'm going to just show you this little bit here. This is the basket that we use. It basically tells us a bunch of stuff about the market conditions. It doesn't pay attention to news postings. It just looks at numbers. And it's already telling us here, very low volume morning, cautious conservative trading, choppy day. Usually you don't see that choppy day marker very often, but especially not this time of the morning. But it's telling us that you really don't want to trade. You might, if you're lucky, find something, but most likely you're more likely to get run over by something or be on the wrong side of something because it's not actually going to move. Now the reason it's not moving is when the Fed chairman talks, and that happens around 2 o'clock, all of a sudden the market moves like crazy. So I'm going to move to the end of the day here so you can actually see what happened. And this is the basket, so this represents the overall. We're going to go back to that chart, and we're going to go look at SPY. I'll just bring up a large chart of SPY. You can see here these brown bars. That's the volume, the trading volume. Before that, there was almost none of it, but afterwards it went crazy. And that happens most of the times. We don't know the direction, but most of the times when there's an FOMC meeting and the chairman speaks around 2 o'clock, the market goes nuts. And that's why beforehand there's really nothing, because nobody knows what side of the trade to be on. Should I be on the making money going down or making money going up? So mostly people, the pros, they just stay out of the market. Anyways, so it was a great move afterwards, and the best part is, I'm just going to turn off some of these colors so you can see it a little bit better, is if you decided that you wanted to get into something and you waited until 2 o'clock, which is around here, you could see pretty clearly that the direction was defined because this part of the day was the range. Well, it broke out of the range and it ran for a long time. So on FOMC days, if you're available in the afternoon, you want to get in around here probably. And you can get out when it crosses the blue line.
Wow. Or get out when you've made your money.
Oh yeah, you'd make your money here if you got in here. That's how great these days are. So 1 in 8, and they don't all behave this way, but most of them do. So you don't have to do a lot of thinking. And by the way, you can actually go to the replay program, go look at every one of those days and say, well, how did that one turn out? How did that one turn out? And then you can get good at it. And then on FOMC day, if you have a day job, you can say, excuse me, boss, I have a doctor's appointment.
I have a sore throat. So, Alan, I'm just kind of curious. Could we look at like a Google or an Apple and just sort of see what they did? And I'm sure they look almost the same, but I'm just kind of curious.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's a great question. So here's Google. It doesn't look really different than SPY. And let's go look at a couple others here. Apple, same kind of thing.
Yeah, a little bit different, but yeah, same sort of thing.
Same, here's IBM. you know,
Wow.
and IBM's kind of like a quieter stock, so to speak. PCLN. So many stocks just went great. And we had one stock here, well, a few that the red side would have been better. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, and so the system actually tells you that kind of stuff, and it says it right here. If you look up here, it says you should be looking at the red side for that stock. So imagine what happens if you pick a stock that's on the green side, and it says go green, and Google and Goldman Sachs. There's another one that said go green. So this one was a go red, and this one, which it didn't do much because it's fighting the market. You don't want to be on the wrong side of the market, even if it says, hey, red's good for this guy. So here, red was like the preferred for this one. Well, in the morning, that was one of the few ones that you could have rode and made some money. But in the afternoon, it's like you wouldn't want that one. You'd go pick somebody that actually had green to it. So,
Right. So, Alan, we had an email today from William, and he asked us a couple questions, and I just thought, we don't normally do this. Normally it's just 10% in 10 minutes, and now we're just showing you what happens on one of 8 days a year. But I just wondered if I could ask this question and get your opinion on that.
Sure.
So he says, are you trading in the money weeklies? The reason I ask, because it seems like with options, your stock would have to move $4 or $5 in order to turn a profit. I've been watching your videos, and your program is pretty interesting. What really got me was the story about the lady with $2,000 and she turned it into $1 million. So he's been, thank you very much, William. Obviously you've been watching more than one of our videos. We appreciate that. Also, he says, I love the freedom of not worrying about my stocks overnight or for weeks would be a great stress reliever. Thank you for your time. So I guess the question is, are we looking at trading in the money weeklies? And so that's kind of one question, and we get into that a lot more in our course on Udemy. And the other part of it is, do stocks have to move $4 or $5 in order to turn a profit?
No, and that's actually, we're only looking for like 50 cents or $1 move to make 10%. So, okay. Like if we go look at some recent trades, let me just.
So actually, like if you went into Apple there and just went near the bottom, and then we did the call thing, or
sure.
bought a call, then we can see how far we have to go up, right?
Yeah, let's just go here, like you say. This isn't per our rules, but just for, and this is pretty close to what you get in the market, like within 1% or so. It's pretty accurate. So I'm going to hit the buy now. Yeah, we know it's going up. So I'm going forward 1 minute, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you'd have already made 16% in, this is the afternoon session.
Now, how high did that go for the stock? Like, how much did the stock change? You kind of covered it there.
If you would have maxed out your money, you would have been, here we go. How about that? You would have made about 60% if you would have caught the bottom.
Right.
And people say, well, stocks don't move that much, and it's like, yeah, they do. And if we show you the live program, you'd see that it has an option tracking tool in there. And let me just see if I can get that up quickly here. And we'll save that for another time. But you can see highs and lows of stock options where in the day it moved from 16 cents, which means it's $16 to buy, to $70. Well, that's triple its value if you would have caught the very bottom to the very top.
Okay, so just to get back to William's question, if you move back to the beginning of this move.
Sure. Okay. Here's the easy way. Yep. There we are at the beginning.
Okay, and then let's just move now. So what is the price of the stock when we move in? When we get in?
Okay, and this guy right here,
126 and change.
yeah, get that out of the way. Yeah,
Okay.
basically we bought it at 126.85.
Okay. So now let's go forward a couple minutes till we hit our 10%.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 16%,
Okay.
and now it's 127.42 versus 126.85.
So
That's
that's like,
less than $1, and you made 16%.
okay. Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah, so we're not looking for massive moves in the stock market or in the stocks. We're looking for 50 cents, $1. We're pretty $1.50, and you've made your money.
You got in here at 126.85. So the stock only moved 57 cents.
Wow.
The stock. But the reason you did well is because the average range on this stock is less than $3. So the price of the options is a bit low, so it's easy to get in. This one in particular has got really nice spreads, which means you can get in very easily. High volume. Apple's one of the best stocks to trade,
Right.
just because of liquidity and all that stuff. Anyway, so the math says that that 57 cents works out to about a 16% profit. And for
Great.
those that understand the details, that includes time decay, and it's based on averages.
Yeah.
So if you would have held something from the beginning of the day, let's say from here, and it came back to that same price over here, it's actually not, the option isn't worth as much as it was there because of time decay. And yes, we buy the weeklies, which means that they expire on Friday. And on Friday, I will buy next Fridays. And sometimes on Thursday, I'll buy next Fridays, not the coming Friday.
Right.
And
Good.
the live program helps you with all that stuff. It does a lot of stuff for you.
That's right. We just got to learn the system, and then you've turned your computer into an ATM. If you want to know more, www.wavesofprofit.com. You can get a link there to our Udemy course, and one day there'll be 2 courses there. We have the beginner course up. We're going to have a more advanced course, and once you've joined the course, you can learn about how you can get a free trial for 30 days to use the program, along with training on how to use the program. Obviously, you wouldn't get into a car and drive it if you had never been in a car before and had no idea what a brake was or what a gas pedal is. And this program is sort of the same thing. Lots of nice colors, easy to understand, easy to work once you've got the training. So thank you for joining us, everybody. Appreciate having you on the show, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.